So till yesterday, we have discussed about how to launch an EC2 instance with Windows operating system. And once once an instance is launched in so and so region, so how to access it. And also we have discussed about what is RDF, remote desktop file, okay, and what is DNS name, what is username, and how can we get the password, okay. So all these things we have discussed till yesterday. So any doubts? Hope everyone able to launch an EC2 instance.
Yes, sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have created instance EC2 and Windows instance and launched it. But it is very lagging, sir. May I know why?
Lying in the sense, so
Very slow. Like normal laptop, it will perform well, right? When we click on Google Chrome or Internet
in which
Explorer.
region you have created that?
Mumbai, sir, South.
Mumbai region only.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe the latency network, maybe that might be the reason, the internet connectivity that you are using. Okay.
Okay.
So because that is getting operated on the internet only, right? So if the connection
Yes.
between your location to the edge location and it is taking the latency time is more, then it will take less time.
Okay. So
Okay.
can we take any location, sir, or only for India we have to take Mumbai
No,
like
no,
that?
it's
It
not
is.
like that. If you observe yesterday, I have created it Sydney region, right?
Yes, yes. Sydney, you have created in Sydney region.
So there is no restriction. So we can choose whatever the region we want. But ideally, it is advised to choose the nearest region, because if the region
Okay.
is very nearest, the network latency will be less. When the network latency is less, we'll have the higher performance.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So other than that, there is no restriction that you are only supposed to use this region or that. It's not like that. So it's just a data center with all the infrastructure is available over there. What they will do is they will plug in and plug out. As of now, yesterday you have created only 30 GB of hard disk. If you want 1 TB, what they will do is they will simply plug in other device with 1 TB of hard disk. Okay, that
Okay.
hardware infrastructure is available at AWS regions. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts? Okay. So today we will be discussing what is Linux instance, how can we launch a Linux instance, and how can we connect to that launched Linux instance, and what are the tools are required. All these things we will discuss in today's session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So in any operating system, what are the different, I mean, in any machine, in any laptop or in any server, what are the components that are available, guys? First one is, yesterday we have created. First one is
OS.
AMI.
Yeah.
Operating system.
General, it is also called as operating system. In AWS, it is called as AMI, Amazon Machine Image. And the second thing is
CPU and RAM.
Processor, RAM, and
RAM.
storage.
Okay. This is called instance type. Okay. Instance type. And next, what is the next? hard disk. And this is also called as EBS, elastic block storage. Okay, so these are the main components. On top of it, we have to give the security profiles, and we have to give the key and value pairs. Okay, and we have to open the HTTP port or RDP port or SSH port, whatever the port that is required to connect to that machine. So that port we have to open. Okay, here operating system is Linux operating system. Okay, yesterday we used with Windows. Today we are going to launch Linux operating system. Okay, so a machine will be created with so and so. Okay, first this is a Linux machine. And this is your laptop. Okay, from your laptop, this Linux machine is located at some Mumbai region or Sydney region, whatever the region you choose. In that location, a Linux machine will be launched. Okay, so in order to access this Linux machine, we have to open one port. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is nothing but port. Okay, when it comes to Windows, what is the port we have opened, guys? Come on, guys, you already forgot. So for Windows, we opened
RDP.
RDP. Okay, so similarly for Linux, we have to open a port called SSH. Okay, secure shell. Okay, that will be one separate port number will be allocated. It is very hard to remember the exact port numbers. Out of 0 to 65,535 number ports are available. Out of that, every port will be dedicated to one specific application. So here, one port number is allotted for SSH. So we have to open here SSH port. Okay. So we are launching a Linux machine, but we are opening a port RDP. Then we are not allowed to connect to that Linux machine. If it's a Linux machine, definitely we have to open SSH port only. Is that clear? Here, nothing logically, it is nothing logical, guys. It is just we have to remember these things. So if it is a Linux machine, we have to open a SSH port. Why? Because Linux will support only SSH port only. When it comes to Windows, it will only support RDP port. It will not allow SSH port. This is just a information. We have to remember this. Okay. There is no logical skills are required because there is no logical stuff, right? So it's just a theory. We have to remember this. Here, in your laptop, you have to enter these details, guys. Okay, in your laptop, you have to enter the details of what is the details, guys? DNS name, username, and password. So these are the things we have to enter in order to connect to that EC2 instance. And yesterday also we have entered DNS, username, and password. Just because we have downloaded that remote desktop file, by default, whatever the DNS name and username is there, it will take automatically. So we no need to enter those details again manually. So that is the reason we just to enter the password. How did we get that password? At the time of launching the EC2 instance, okay, of Windows operating system, we have downloaded one security key. Okay, that key is nothing but .pem file, privacy enhanced mail or private enhanced mail. So we have downloaded that file and we have saved it with an extension of .pem. In order to get the password, we have to give this .pem file to AWS so that AWS will verify that with their public key and they will give the password if that is correct. And after that, we have to take that password and we have to enter here. Then only we can able to connect to the Windows machine. This is what we have discussed. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So even in Linux also, we have to enter the DNS name and we have to enter the username and we have to enter the password. But here little bit difference from operating Windows to Linux. Here, instead of PEM file, okay, so we have to create one PPK file. This will not expect the password. In Linux, we have to give in Linux we have to give PPK. Okay, so here the terminology is little bit different. Anyway, we will be getting the .pem file. We have to convert that .pem file to PPK file. Okay, PPK stands for public private key. Okay, so we have to convert the .pem file to PPK file. Okay, and we have to give this PPK file as the password. Don't confuse. When it comes to Windows, we have to convert .pem file to password. When it comes to Linux, we have to convert .pem file to PPK file, and that PPK file will act as a password. Is this clear? Okay.
Clear, sir.
Okay. And here, where we are giving that PM file in case of Windows, in AWS only upload that file and we are getting the password. Okay. But here, when it comes to Linux, we have to download two more things, two more extra tools. Those are nothing but Putty and Putty Gen. Okay. These two are the tools. If you want to connect to the Windows machine, we have downloaded one file called RDF, remote desktop file. That remote desktop file is equivalent to Putty. Instead of RDF, we have to download Putty. In the Putty only, we have to enter username and the password. Okay. Instead, to get the PPK file from PEM file, we have to download PuttyGen. That PuttyGen will convert the PEM file to PPK file. In order to connect to Linux machine, we have to download Putty in place of RDF. Is this clear? These are the differences from Windows to Linux. If you have any questions, so please. So please respond, guys. Are you guys following or not?
Yes, sir. Putty and Puttygen, both we have to download, sir.
Yes, both we have to download. One is for converting the PEM file to PPK file. In case
Okay,
of Windows, how that operation has worked
through RDF.
in the AWS website only, I mean in the GUI only, there is an option to upload PEM file. There we have uploaded and it automatically converted that to password. We no need to download an extra application that is already there in AWS only. But
Yes.
here we have to download the tool externally.
Okay.
Hope everyone got the point. So
Yes,
here
sir.
Windows and Linux both are same only, but the only thing is instead of SSH, sorry, instead of RDP, we are going with SSH.
Yeah.
Instead of password, we are getting the PPK file. So in Windows, password will be retrieved, our password will be generated with the help of PEM file, and we have to submit that PEM file to AWS. They will give the password. When it comes to Linux, we have to download an application called PuttyGen. To that PuttyGen, we have to give the PEM. That will give us the PPK. And instead of RDF, we have to download the Putty. To that Putty, we have to give the DNS name or IP address, or DNS name and use a combination of DNS name and username will give you the IP address of your machine. Okay, you can give DNS name, username, or else you can give host name, that is nothing but IP address, and you have to submit the PPK file so that you will able to connect to Linux machine. This is the theory part. Now we'll see it practically. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go to issue to dashboard. So no instances are running because yesterday I have stopped the instance. So it's stopping the instance is nothing but just shutting down our instance, our laptop, guys. Okay. See, this is one. So currently this is in stopped. Stopped means this was the machine was shut down. Okay, here instance state. If you want to launch it again, you have to start the instance. It is nothing but just turn on your laptop is nothing but starting your instance. Both are same. If you start the instance, it will get started so that you can able to connect. It is in state is pending. It will take some time, couple of minutes. See, it is in running. So now the machine is launched successfully and it is in running state. So once your work is done, what you have to do? You have to stop this instance. Okay, this will get enabled. Here still it is not completely done. Status checks. There need to be 2 status checks needs to be passed. Okay, so wait for it. And don't forget to stop your instances once you are done with your work, guys. Why? Because AWS will charge based on the time you have used. How much amount of time you have used this. Based on that only they will charge. So ideally the number of hours is, if I remember correctly, it is hardly 750 hours per month. 750 or something like that only. If we use this instance, I mean, if this instance is in start state for more than 750 hours, after that per hour per minute, they will charge us. Okay. So that is the reason it is always advised to stop this instance once you are done. For going to log off, okay, it is, yeah, 2 status checks are passed. Now you can see, you select this instance, okay, instance state. If you click on stop, the instance will be shut down. Reboot instance means rebooting is nothing but restarting your device. Terminate means you are no more using the device. Once you terminate your instance, that means this instance is no more available for launching. Is this clear? Stop means just shut down. Reboot means restarting. Terminate means you are destroying that instance. So that is not at all available for your future purpose. Okay. So if you want to connect to this machine, click on connect. So here, go to RDP client. Okay. Here, download remote desktop file. This remote desktop file is nothing but our Putty in Linux. Here only they will be giving directly, but when it comes to Linux, they will not give you here directly. We have to download from Google. And this is the public DNS name. This username and DNS name we have to give. And instead of getting the password, here get password and submit the PEM file. Here we are directly submitting our PEM file in AWS only. They will take it, they will validate it, and they will give the password. But when it comes to Linux, they will not directly take it from here. For that purpose, we have to download some separate application. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll see this practically for Linux. So launch instances, click on launch instances. What is our operating system? Linux. So we'll choose Amazon Linux. We can choose any Linux, but here we'll go with this. This is free tier eligible, so we can happily choose this. We can select, and this is the free tier eligible, and 1 GB of RAM with the T2 macro, and it is free tier eligible. Okay, go to next step. and number of instances we are going to launch only one instance only. Whether it is one or whether it is two, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so whatever we are going to do is same. Next, add storage. So here, guys, what is the size here by default it is taken, guys?
Yeah,
8 GB. Yesterday, what was the size? 30 GB. Why it was 30 for Windows and why it is 8 for Linux? Because the reason is Windows operating system is a GUI, graphical user interface, and also it is having command line. It is a GUI plus CLI. But when it comes to Linux, it is a CLI only. So GUI versus CLI. Let's say I'm opening one C drive. Okay. So here I want to create one folder. Then how can I do that? Click on new, right click, new folder. Folder name is test folder. A test folder is created. How did I do this, guys? Come on, guys. You all are BTech and BSc CS.
graphical. It's a graphical user interface, right?
So I have
Direct. We have options.
directly I have done this. I have just right click and with the help of GUI, everything is visible here. The same thing can be done. Okay. MKDIR space test2. Here see, test2 is created. Now how did I do that? I have created this folder from the command prompt by executing some commands. So here, if we want to create a folder, we can do it with the help of GUI and also we can do it from the command prompt also. So this is called a CLI. Okay. And this is called graphical user interface. Hope this clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here, so Windows is a graphical user interface along with CLI, both. So that is the reason it will take more memory. Is written. The operating system is having so many programs to support GA along with CLI. So the amount of space occupied by operating system is more. But when it comes to Linux, it is only CLI. So that is the reason 8 GB is enough to launch your Linux machine. The operating system will not occupy more than 8 GB of memory. So that is the reason whatever the minimum amount is required, so that will be coming here. 8 GB is enough to launch a Linux machine. If you want, you can extend it to 30 GB or 25 GB also. The same like guys. So video file and an audio file. In video, you will have video along with audio. In the audio only, you will be having only audio. Which one will take more memory?
Video and audio.
So obviously a video file will have more memory because it is having audio also. Yeah, same story here as well. Here we'll launch one more drive. If you want, you can launch one more drive. We can free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB of EBS magnetic storage about free. So here already 8 is there. So still we can have drives which are having a sum of their amount space is equals to 22 GB. Okay. So but right now it is not required. So okay, root GB 8 GB. Next, add tags. Okay, so if you want, you can add any tags here. This is optional only. Next, configure security groups. So here, guys, we have to create a new security group or select an existing security group. If you use select an existing group, so these are the default one. So any account, if you haven't launched any instance, by default, this security group will be available. Okay, and this Windows security group we have created yesterday. Okay, so if I only select this, what it is having, guys, it is having only RDP. But in order to connect to my Linux machine, what is the command it should have? I mean, what is the port it should have?
SSH.
SSH. But here SSH is not there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if I assign this security group to my Linux instance, then I am unable to connect to that machine. So that is the reason this is not useful. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that is the
Definitely.
reason we have to create a new security group. Okay. Here by default, what has come? SSH has come. Why? We are launching a Linux machine. For Linux machine, the required port is SSH. So that is the reason that AWS by default has given SSH. If you want an extra, you can add extra also. Here you can add RDP also. Like this. Okay. If you are,
What is the use, sir, by adding RDP?
we will not use. Let's say I
Okay.
am going to launch one more Windows machine tomorrow. Okay, just now I have terminated my whatever the previous instance that I have launched, I have terminated that. Okay, tomorrow I am going to launch one more Windows machine. So there again in this step, in the step 6, again it will ask me for giving a security group. Again, I no need to create one more security group with different name. I can give this one. Why? Because this is having two ports. It is having SSH and also it is having RDP. Okay, through SSH I cannot access my Windows machine, but this security group is also having RDP. So with this RDP I can access, right?
Yes, sir.
So there will be a master key and a, so if you take a room in any hotel, guys, you will be given with one key. Okay, and also the room keeping guys will be there, na? So they will be provided with the master key, whether you are there in the room or not. So any time they will come and they will clean your room and they will go out. They will not wait for you to come and give your key. Okay, that is a master key. If we give these two commands in one security profile, then this security profile can be used for any Windows machine as well as for any Linux machine. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because this is having all the two ports. If it is a Windows machine, it will take the RDP port. If it is a Linux machine, it will take a SSH port. Both the ports are available. If one port is not available, then it will enter into the other port. If I only SSH, then the security profile group cannot be appended for Windows machine. Why? Because Windows machine requires a RDP, but this security group is having SSH. So that is of no use. If we have two in the same group, then this can be used for any Windows machine and any Linux machine. Or else, if you want to give separate for Windows and separate for Linux, then you can create two like this. You can delete this. Linux security group. Okay. Review on lunch. So choose an existing key pair or create a new pair. So we can choose. Yesterday we have this one, Windows keep.10 is there, right? We can use this one also. Choose an existing key pair. We can use this one also, or else you can create your own key also. Create new key pair. Linux key. Okay, you can download this key pair and you have to save this. Okay, and after that, launch instance. View instances. So this Windows is already in running state. It is in pending. It will take some time. So you can change this name. Make Linux. Just refresh. So it is running state. Status check 2x2 health checks has to be done. Any doubts so far? Okay, so it is launched successfully. Now we have to connect to this machine. You select this Linux instance and you click on connect. Okay, yeah. Here you can see this is the instance ID and this is the public IP address and this is the username. Go to say session manager, SSH client. Okay. We have to download the Putty. Putty download. Okay, go to this one. Download putty.r or else you can go for the second one. So here see 64-bit putty.exe. You can download this. Okay. And we have to download one more thing, PuttyGen. Here only you will get the PuttyGen as well. See, PuttyGen. This is the one. Okay, you have to download this one as well, PuttyGen.exe. Okay, now we have downloaded both one. Now open PuttyGen. Okay, this is just an executable file only. So here no key. So generate or load. Which one we should choose? Load an existing private key. That is nothing but PEM file. Load. So my Linux key dot pem. This is the one, right? Or Linux key. Linux key. Linux key. This is the one we have created, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So we have to submit this Linux key.pem file. Okay, open. Successfully imported foreign key, private key. To use the key with Putty, you need to use the save private key command to save it in Putty's own format. Okay, click on OK. Okay. Save private key. Are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? Passphrase to protect is nothing but, let's say now our key is like this. This is our key. Okay. This is our key. So what does it mean is, are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? Without a passphrase. Passphrase is nothing but the key is there and it is stored. Do you want to add an extra protection? That is the meaning of adding passphrase. Okay. This is an extra protection. Okay. If we click yes, it will ask for us to enter some more details. Extra phrase can be anything. Add one or add two, whatever it is. So adding an extra protection is called adding a passphrase. So we no need to add any extra protection for this. Yes, I don't want an extra protection. So file name, what is our file name? Linux. We have to give a name, right? What is our password? Linux password. Okay. I am saving the password with this one, that ppk file, linux password. Save. Okay, now it's done. It is saved. Now open Putty. Okay, and here click on SSH. Okay, select authorization. Okay. Here, browse private key file authentication. We have to give the file. Browse Linux password ppk. Open and open. It's getting started, guys. Just wait a second. So here, connect to your instance using its public DNS. This is the DNS name, guys. Okay, we have to enter this DNS name, right? So just click on copy. It's copied. Okay. After that, host name or IP address. This is nothing but your port. Here you have to enter this one. Okay. Click on auth. Browse. Linux password ppk. Open. Open. Okay. Yeah. So this is your Linux instance, guys. Oh, yes. So here, this is username, guys. EC2 user is the username. Username at the rate. This part is called as DNS name. So the combination of EC2 username and DNS name is called as IP address or host name. There is some issue, guys. So we'll see it again. So this is one way. Okay. So we have to enter this EC2 username, this details. Okay. We have to enter this username and password along with the PPK file in the Putty application. So we have to here, we have to enter our host name. That is nothing but this one. After that, we have to click on SSH and we have to select this auth. Here we have to submit the file. Okay. And we have to get this PPK file and click on open. And after that, open. So it will connect to the machine. As it is already open, it is not allowing us. So if you click on open that one, a window will come like this. So this is the machine. So here, whatever the black screen that you are seeing here, so that is your Linux machine, which is located at Sydney region. Okay, here you can type the commands. LS stands for, it will list out all the folders and all the files that is available at the root directory. Okay, so this is your Linux machine. So as Linux machine is only CLI, okay, command line interface, you will not see any graphical things here. Yesterday when we launched our Windows machine, we have seen a blue screen with one wallpaper and we have opened the Internet Explorer and there we have opened one website also. So that is GUI with CLI. So that is the reason we have seen that as a separate machine. Here Linux will be having only CLI. So that is the reason you can able to see only this blank screen. A Windows machine with only command prompt option is nothing but Linux machine, equivalent to Linux machine. So that is the reason you can see here. Now, whatever the operations you want to perform, you have to do it. You have to do it with the help of only Linux commands only. Up to this clear? So there are three ways to connect to your Linux machine, guys. One way is downloading Putty and Puttygen applications and giving the PIM file and getting the PPK file and entering that password details and connect to this machine. That is one way. And the second way is browser-based connectivity. Browser-based connectivity means you no need to download any Putty or Puttygen applications, but still you can connect to that machine. So this is the second one. So here, if you want to go with first approach, you have to go to SSH and you have to take this name. After that, you have to enter those details in Putty and Puttygen applications and you can connect. That is the first option. And the second option is go to EC2 instance connect. Here only you can directly connect. This is the instance ID and this is the public IP address and this is the username. If you click on connect here, a tab will be opened with Linux. This is the connectivity. You are connecting to that machine through browser only. In the browser only, you are able to access that. That is browser-based connectivity. And the third approach is MOBA Xterm. MOBA Xterm is one more tool. With the help of that tool also, we can able to connect to Linux machine. That we will see it tomorrow. Any doubts?
No, sir. But in organization, which we use, sir?
Sorry?
In organization, which one we use?
In organization, mostly people will use MOBA Xterm because that will be having rapid features. And also most of the people will use Putty and Puttygen only.
Okay.
So they will simply download this. I mean, these files are already available in those machines. They will simply connect to that machines with the help of Putty and Puttygen only because it is easy to connect. Okay, let me connect this once again. So it is asking some details. Launch instances. Okay. Okay, tomorrow download this Putty and Puttygen and go through the options and see what you observe. Okay, yesterday when someone pinged me by saying, sir, you are able to see the different options, step 1, step 2, step 3, but I am not able to see those steps. So that is because of new AWS people will try different GUIs as part of the trial period. So whatever the new changes they have made, so they will apply here. So we have that option to choose. Whenever we open it, it will ask us to, you want to use the old one or new one. We can choose whatever we want. So there what will happen is they will give all the options in one single page only. Instead of choosing AMI, we have to search our operating system name so that it will give the list of operating systems that are available. Okay, don't get confused if GUI is little bit different than what we are discussing here. Okay, at the end of the day, all the options will be available, but just user experience, UX will be changed. It's very slow, guys. So, okay, in the meantime, if you guys have any doubts, so please, guys, you can ask any doubts.
Sir, my laptop is having 32 bits, sir. So when we are downloading Putty, in that it is option you said 64, right?
Yeah,
Here
you can have 34-bit also, 32, 64, and then 86. So
we
you
can
can see that
download this
option.
32-bit, right?
Yeah, you have to download 32-bit. Mine is 64, so I downloaded 64. That's yeah, they
Okay.
have clearly mentioned, right?
Okay, sir.
So Putty is 64-bit. This is a Windows installer. It will you if you download this, you will get it as a package. From that package, you have to extract and you have to again double click on that .exe file. Other than that, you can directly click this one: 64-bit Putty, 64-bit ARM Putty, and 32-bit. So you have to download this one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Some technical problem is thereby, so that is the reason it is not able to connect it. So again, I will show it to you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the way of connecting is after we have done all these steps, if you click on OK, ideally, whatever the screen you are seeing here, guys, okay, the same is, this is EC2. The same screen, it will come here as well. But here, some catchy, it is showing that some catchy problems are there. So there is no guarantee that you are going to connect to the same machine or not. So that message we are getting it. So hopefully tomorrow, if you change the region, that issue might resolve. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, tomorrow anyway, I will be again connecting from Putty Engine application. I will be showing it that one as well. Okay, no worries. So in the meantime, you also try. You might not get the same issue. Okay, so better to choose the region as Mumbai region and follow the same steps. Here, load the key and save the private key, and after that, give the information, host name, and get the file so that you will able to connect to that Linux machine. If you try that, still if you face any issues, we'll see it in tomorrow class.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. So if you are still in class, so you just okay, close the session. Just enter this, click on auth and give the file. Okay, June Linux PPT, open, click on open. And here login as, give the username, guys. Username is EC2-user. This is the username. Enter the user. Okay, so now it gets connected. Okay, cool.